Okay, let's start taking a look at Bitcoin. I am going to go over the higher time frame of Bitcoin here. I do not want to go too in depth about the local situation. I just want to sketch in the high time frame scenarios for Bitcoin here and make it a real quick update on what I think is going on and what's going to happen next in Bitcoin. So we need to start at the weekly time frame. And we actually have a little price action here, which I've drawn in green, which means a demand for me. And why is it still in my chart? Well, you had this crazy accumulation, as everyone knows, as it took so long. But this is actually your last, you can see it on the daily time frame better. This is your last pullback before you've created new highs after the accumulation of almost 250 days. So the buyers that stepped in here at this zone, when price comes back there, are they willing to defend their orders? Well, I thought so. I thought it would be a great point of interest to tap back into and then rotate up. But we front ran it. We're making a market maker model right before it, and we just continued the trend. But the point of interest is still here. When we could see a rotation all the way back down to like 70k, this is your point of interest to watch for longs. Also, if we take a look on the weekly time frame, it is actually a little bit scary on what has been going on there, because when we're uptrending, we want to draw in your range from high all the way to low, which we have done right now. And we have the DL tool on the 1.3. That would basically your maximum part for the market to go and still reject from to see it as manipulation. So basically a PO3. This is our range. It was confirmed when we got back to the middle. And it's looking like we're rejecting this 1.3 so nicely, which I don't like. It's scary, especially with a liquidity hunt up here. So it looks like we need a big correction on Bitcoin. I think this weekly candle is what manipulated above this high. And this is also where sellers stepped in. So I want to call this my supply right now. Of course, we can fine tune it on the lower entry, but we can already see price made new highs by testing our old high here. But it failed to do so. It just wicked it. It made a liquidity hunt. So we've made a new lower low. Our expectancy right now is to make a lower high and a lower low just to continue. Even though our trend from here is a higher high and we can expect a higher low for another higher high, these signals that the market is giving me by rejecting the 1.3 DL tool in this range formation, it looks bearish. With this liquidity hunt up here as well, I want to say Bitcoin is down until proven otherwise. Yes, we can expect order flow to make a higher low for a higher high, but if you're internally never gonna get that break of structure towards the upside, we are going to keep on dumping. And that is the situation on Bitcoin right now. If we reject here, make new lows, our internal order flow is going to be expected every time. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and continue. That doesn't mean we cannot look for longs at these local point of interests, but because of these high time frame directions it's giving me, you want to be careful on longs above here on Bitcoin. When you want to look for longs, I think it's going to be this part down here. You always say in the 50% of the range. Well, the range, the 50% of the range is down here, not on the premium side up here. So I think I'm patiently going to wait for price to come in here to then skew in longs. And right here, only scalp longs if the market decides to give us a scalp. But it looks like it's down until proven otherwise on Bitcoin, and we want to create a bit of that panic. Looking at the daily, we can also see what we've rejected. Most of the time when you just grind down a little bit like this with a lot of liquidity laying above, you get that pop up and then your continuation towards the downside. This made us new highs. we've made a lower low, so order flow is expected to make a lower high for new lower lows until it's proven otherwise. So when we get this internal break, we can even expect more downside. Our rotation towards this low is basically confirmed when we do that. We also have equal loads, which I've mentioned in previous streams. I think this is a great magnet for the market to come back to and maybe give us a reaction here. Our trend is down, and when we make that new lower low, our goal is confirmed, and then we can try again to break that high. If we fail to do so, we're making a lower high and we can expect new lows. What are your points to watch? There's a little order block right here that we can expect some support on Bitcoin around 105k, and then we could also expect between 98 and 102k to expect some definitely support. And if not there, there's also a demand open here. We could do something like this. So we don't have to hold this. We could sweep this low and continue up from there. If we zoom out a little bit more, I am going to be watching at this whole box. This is your market maker model that brought you all the way up to new highs. So if we come back there, we are going to expect some support, and maybe we can trade our base off that depending on what the local situation gives us. Well, beautiful. That's going to be Bitcoin here. Nice and short, but powerful as well. Quick analysis about it. So